Hello. Yeah, this is another live streaming. Quite last minute, I know. But yeah, I'm gonna do some Friday drink, a bit of chit chat, modeling stuff. Actually, my mic got broken the other day. And I'm not really sure if this mic is working, so I have to. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it seems like it's working. So yeah, another like not really planned well. So I don't really know if anyone will notice, but we'll see. I'm gonna start. It's Friday, so I have sangria. If you are in the UK, you might have seen a yellow packed, like a paper pack sangria. It's really nice. I love it. Yeah, so cheers, and I'm gonna start modeling. I hope you guys had a good week. It has been quite hectic one for me, but yeah, it's all good. And yeah, this guy, I started modeling his hair. I'm gonna quickly show how I am doing this. Basically, it's kind of very basic approach. Here I have some hair, like rough hair curves. So these are all curved. So if you see, like these are basically all curve, and then I have the base curve. So this is basically made with, if I delete this curve and this curve, okay, and then I select curve bevel object, and then I select this one, and then I have this curve, this shape, okay, and then I can Alt S and then scale up the thickness. I also can twist this. So I made kind of this basic hair kind of flow, and then I basically convert it to mesh. So I'm gonna hide this so you can see better. But this is kind of trial and error. I'm not too sure if I'm going to, like, I kind of want to fix some part. I'm not really sure if I'm happy about this hairstyle yet. As you can see, I'm gonna show you my sketch. So this is my sketch, and you can see this is more like fur, isn't it? Like it's much more kind of fluffy, not really how do you say, like it's much more like a fluffy and kind of chunk of hair like going everywhere. And I tried to sculpt this, but it didn't really work, and then I realized this is because it is hair. So it's not like a fur, which is basically like you have the skin and then you have lots of like hair coming from there. So the hair flow has to be like coming from head basically. So that's what I'm trying to define, like what works and then what doesn't. And then it is still kind of working very early stage of this hair model, so I'm not too stressed out myself. This is, at the end of the day, this is my personal passion project anyway. I also this I'm very aware this is not going to be animation, or still this is going to be 3D printed mini model. So at the end of the day, this all has to be one single mesh. I'm planning to print hair model and body and face, and yeah, I think body and head are single mesh, and a hair and his horn is going to be another mesh, another mesh, and then 3D print it and then attach it somehow. I think that would work better after I talked with my husband. So that's my plan. I don't really know how this is gonna work. Again, I'm not planning to buy a 3D printer yet, because I'm not planning to create tons of model for this project. This is almost like I'm planning 3-4 models ideas, but I'm not going to create like 30-40 different characters. So I'm not really thinking about buying a 3D printer for me for this specific project. In the future, possibly, if I really enjoy like modeling this kind of toy stuff. But yeah, at the moment I'm not like thinking of buying one. If I want to, I think I have talked about it on this stream. I checked a couple of different printers, and then I found out the 3D printer is not really expensive at all, but I was thinking of getting a resin printer, and it's not really expensive, but it involves a lot of like chemicals, and I'm not really sure about like getting those, and then how to dispose all those chemical, and then yeah, it's not really I'm not sure if it's worth doing it. So yeah, it's kind of TBC type kind of situation. But for this model, I'm planning to outsource. I already found people who can 3D print for me. So that's my plan at the moment. So yeah, I think I definitely need some kind of model it and then print it. If it doesn't work, I'm going to model, like change some mesh, and yeah, trial and error. And then the good thing about buying 3D printer would be like I can do a lot of like practice and test at home. But yeah, if I use company, I have to like order and then get the product, and then like maybe remodel, then order. So it's a bit time consuming, but I think that's what I'm going to do. So yeah, like I said, I basically make all of these hair out of curve, and then I convert it to object and then sculpt from there. Definitely I want to make it finer. So this is very kind of rough structure, like a basic structure of hair, and then I will define it later. Okay, but today I'm not spending too much time on sculpting hair because it's not really interesting, I guess. Like if I make hair one by one, it's a really time consuming process. So I'm not gonna do all of these hair today because that's very boring. Let me quickly define this hair. So I'm gonna finish this hair. So what I'm doing now is I kind of smooth the shape, trying to create the nice curve. And I use this snake hook a lot. I sometimes use Dynatopo. It's something like Dynamesh in ZBrush, I think. I don't use Dynatopo that much. I prefer using Remesh. There are pros and cons both these tools. These are both powerful tools, but this is just my preference. Like I prefer using Remesh tool. Yeah. So kind of creating these two hairlines, and then I'm going to fill this later. And then that's how basically I make hair. So now I got pretty much whole front side. He got nice bangs, and then he has side hair, and then this area he going to have the hair tied at here. And then he also got another kind of chunk of hair because he got like so much volume in hair. He just like put some beads and like some part he ties some part, and then yeah, it's quite fun to explore his design. And I definitely want to do more. Like he's kind of chaotic character because he's goblin basically, and then he's not dumb guy, he's smart guy, but also he's really chaotic character. So I want him to like kind of decorate himself with lots of like different things like bees, how to say, I think it's bees, right? Yeah, bees and some strings, and here and there he has like some attachment on his hair. So that's my plan, and for another couple of days and weeks I'm going to work on his hair. But today I'm going to work on props. The main thing I want to add is this drum. So this drum is called tsuzumi. Basically it is the traditional Japanese how do you say, like drum or like rhythmic instruments. I'm gonna show you very quickly. So this Oni character is basically he is kind of trio. So 3 Oni, I'm planning to create 3 Oni characters, and then like I'm thinking like they have different type of ability. It's not like magical ability, but he has some control ability with weather. That's my planning. And then he has sort of like thunder god type of power. So in Japan there is the old god called Hujin and Raijin. So these are Hujin and Raijin, basically the thunder god and the wind god. And yeah, like I got the inspiration from these 2 characters. This goblin is not like god-ish character, he's more like a just goblin, but he has kind of like he has a bit of thunder power. That's how I imagine about this character. And then traditionally Fujin always, so he's a wind god, so he always have this kind of cloth. I think it is more like the bag, and then he kind of create the wind from this bag. And then thunder god always have this kind of drumstick, and then behind him he got like a ring with bunch of drums. And then I think like he hit the drum and then create the thunder. So like I think it is because thunder is really loud, and then old people thought, like the ancient people thought, like this is the thunder god hitting the drum. That's really cool idea, I think. And so because this Oni character has a bit of thunder power, so I thought it is quite cool idea to give him a little drum. So he also have this how do you call, like this kind of knife, but it is made out of this drumstick, and then he got another small drumstick, so he fight with this knife, but also he can like use this for hitting his drum and then create the thunder power. That's how I'm imagining what he's going to be. It is just fun. I'm just having fun to create this kind of some ideas. Okay, so and then so where this drum design is coming from is basically I'm thinking of this traditional tsuzumi, which is use in no is Japanese traditional dance, like performing art, and then people play this tsuzumi. Yeah, so it is a kind of percussion instrument. So it's supposed to be look more like this, how when people play, people hold this string bit and then hit with finger, hit with palm. But so this is more like there are some play that this drum is used as a prop, and then this is actually not the actual drum, but it is more like just a prop. But I thought this is kind of where this idea came from. And then there is actually one performance that the performer put this drum on his kind of chest, and then like a kind of perform to play. They don't actually hit and it doesn't make sound, but basically use it as the prop. And then that's how this idea of he got this tsuzumi drum on his belly, basically. Hopefully it does make sense. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to create this drum today, and then probably if I have time, I'm not planning to do this that long, and I don't really know if anyone will join today anyway, but I'm planning to create this drum, and also maybe make some his drumstick. Yeah, I think drumstick can be quite quick one, and his knife. And if I have additional time, maybe I'm going to do his geta, the shoes. So yeah, that'll be enough for today. So let's start. So I'm going to copy this drum so I can model without weird angle, and I can know this sides. I'm gonna hide this curve, and then yeah, this is pretty much made with cylinders, so it's quite easy one. I'm gonna shade this smooth, and let me quickly see if there are any other Tsuzumi with, because normally Tsuzumi, like this Tsuzumi, this drum, like it's quite simple shape, but actual Tsuzumi normally have this kind of, I don't know if you can see, but yeah, I think this is better example. Let's see. I don't know where I jumped. It's quite hard to see inside of Tsuzumi because there are so many strings going on here. Yeah, so it's kind of rounded thing at the side, and then got really thin part inside. So that's what I'm going to make, I think, rather than make with like a 3 simple torus. I think this is slightly cooler. Okay, so I'm gonna duplicate this and then move this a bit down, and then let's shrink this down, scale it. I'm going to shade flat for now, and then I'm going to copy this and then make something like this. Then I think I can reuse this, so I'm going to, let's apply scale and edit mode. I'm going to create cut, and then I think I'm going to just bevel it, and then extrude along normal, shrink it, yeah, and then also, yeah, the scale is fine, so I'm going to bevel it, add some more segments. I think I did a bit too much. This is a bit too extreme, so I'm gonna, let's dissolve these 2 edges, and then I'm going to add thickness, accept Z, yeah, and then I'm going to add a bit of bevel here too. So here, select this edge, add bevel. Okay, yeah, this kind of look. And then I am going to create, I'm going to extrude this area a bit, and then I want to make this area a bit thinner, so I think I'm going to extrude along normal again, make it thinner, then I'm going to select these edges and then bevel, but I realize I didn't apply this scale yet, unless I need to do that before I add bevel, because it's not going to be, it doesn't make it look good. So yeah, something like this. Oh, there's a bit of overlapping happened here, and then I'm going to I think there will be another overlapping thing happening here, so I'm gonna just delete, and also, oops, I'm also going to delete this bit too for now, and then clean up this edge first. So I'm gonna delete this edge, and then oh, actually this is not nice. Yeah, actually, instead of doing that, I'm going to delete these faces. Yeah, this is better. And then I'm going to fill this loop. There must be I think there must be like a much quicker way to do. I know that, but it doesn't really matter. As long as we can make it, it's fine. Yeah. So I think, why don't I just extend this bit? And then I am going to set origin to geometry, duplicate this, and then apply the position. Okay, so now we kind of made the basic shape looking all right. Actually, I'm going to make a bit of kind of this inside bit. Yeah. So just going to select this face and then extrude a bit, something like this. Yeah. And then I'm going to again duplicate this Also, I'm thinking of thinking a bit about size. Actually, I'm going to scale down this inside bit a little bit, just because I want to make the pattern. I want to make some paint around here, so I need this to be slightly smaller. I mean, I'm not the one who is going to paint it, but just plan it. Okay. So I'm gonna add a little bit of bevel here. Yeah, I think this is looking all right. And also, well, I don't want to make a small hole on here. If it was the illustration project, then probably I would, but because this is going to be the mini model, I wouldn't do that. So I just cover this area with a string. So I'm thinking like, what is the best way to do? So I'm going to flip this, and yeah, this is it. Okay, this is looking all right. So what I'm gonna do next is I want to make the string, right? And then, so I'm gonna start creating the guide first, because this has to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, like there's 6. So actual drum, there are 6 holes each side, and then it's go like shoelace. So I don't make hole, but I'm going to create the guide. So I'm gonna create so Shift S, castle to world origin. Yeah, and then I'm going to create circle. So this is going to be just a guide. So I am going to place this here, and then duplicate it, and then place this here, and then let's group it. And then I think I'm gonna join it. Yeah. And then origin to geometry. If I use Cinema, this kind of thing is super easy. But we are using Blender. I think, yeah, but I think this is alright. 120. So yeah, this is fine. Easy peas. And then duplicate it, and then minus, and oh yeah, minus. Okay, so now we got these guys. This is good. Then I think I start putting string to each side. So first I am going to, how should I approach this? Okay, I'm going to create just a plane. I just want to make the single edge points. So delete these edges, vertices, and then I got this points. So yeah, I can use this. So I'm going to put this. Let's separate this actually. So I'm going to separate selection, and then I'm going to select this, set origin to geometry, so I can copy this, and also let's origin to geometry, and then yeah, so I could precisely have points here. And then next I'm going to, actually I'm going to convert this to curve, and then go to edit mode, extrude, and then I'm going to put this somewhere around here. So this time I'm going to do the same thing. So select, link, separate selection, and then object, set origin to geometry, copy it, paste. Oh, oh yeah, actually this doesn't really work. Yeah, it's fine. I'm going to select edit mode, and then adjust the position. Here. Oh no, not here. So it has to be here instead. Yes. Oh, actually, I think this is, yeah, so it also, I just realized these points has to be rotate a bit. So these are not kind of match to this side. So I am going to let's join this, and then I think rotate this for 30 degrees. I need to turn the light on for this room actually. Oops, sorry. Okay, this is better. And I'm going to select points again. So now, where do I put? So it's about here, isn't it? So yeah, something like this, and then again somewhere around here. Yeah, and then yeah, connecting the dots. So select here. Extrude. And extrude. 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 Yeah, I don't know, it shouldn't. Yeah, so I think it should connect somewhere around, oops, somewhere around in the middle point. So something like this. And let's make another circle. Curve circle, and then make it shrink down. Well, I'm gonna shrink down later. I am going to convert to curve, object, and select this circle. And let's shrink down, oops. Let's shrink down this circle a lot. So yeah, it looks like this, and then I'm going to start modifying the curve. So I'm gonna subdivide these. Oops. Let me hide some stuff again. I'm gonna subdivide. And then I'm gonna subdivide again, and probably I need to make some kind of how this for now. Also, I need to be aware again, it shouldn't be that, it needs to have certain thickness probably, otherwise it could be quite weak. So maybe that's also better to consider. But anyway, I'm gonna add beige handle, automatic. So this area is going to be like this. Automatic. Yeah, so I'm kind of make something like shoelace type of thing here. So I'm gonna dissolve a couple of vertices, and I'm going to automatic, scale up, and then I'm going to delete bad vertices. Okay, I'm gonna set the handle, not the oops. Okay, and then I'm going to set the handle type, automatic, rotate this, and let's delete these vertices. So yeah, I think that's how I can create this string area. Let's delete these guides for now. I'm gonna just hide it. I'm not gonna delete it actually. I might need it later. And let's unhide the center bit. Ooh, where did that go? Ah, okay, there we go. Okay. Oops. This is quite tedious, but it is needed, so I'm gonna rotate this, scale down a bit, and then I'm gonna delete these vertices. I think I need to, realistically, I need to thicken up this string in the end a little more. But yeah, this is fine. And yeah, so let's make this area automatic, and then I'm gonna just rotate this, adjust the position. Position and rotate. Yeah, something like this. And then I'm gonna do the same thing here. So these points, I'm gonna make it automatic, and then I think I can use individual origin and then rotate and move up. Actually, I'm gonna just yeah, I think this is better. And let's just remove these points for now. Let's delete these vertices. Move this slightly. Yeah, something like this. I'm gonna subdivide this area, subdivide it. So the reason I'm using this Tsuzumi drum for this inspiration is because my family is basically play this art performance called No, like Japanese traditional performance thing. So I used to learn it from my grandpa, and he's kind of master of No art, and yeah, so I'm kind of familiar, like this has been always close to my kind of, this is always like core of my inspiration somehow. And yeah, so that's why like a couple of past my work I use some no plop for the inspiration. I'm going to scale up a bit. And when I was a kid, I didn't really enjoy learning thing, because a lot of kids allowed me learn ballet and then wearing really beautiful, pretty dress, and then wear makeup, and then I really jealous of, I really feel like envy about that. And then I was wearing like a Japanese traditional kimono, which is like a really heavy and thick, and it's not really cute, but yeah, now I really appreciate this culture. So yeah, this is quite rough, but yeah, it's kind of work in a way. I probably needs to define the shape a bit later, but it's okay for now. And I'm going to add torus. No, not torus. I'm going to add circle again, and this is curve. So I'm going to use the same circle to add thickness to it. Then I'm going to add this. And let's add thickness to it. Yeah, I want to make it a bit more finer, add finer detail to it, but I don't really know if it's a good thing to do or not. So I'm a bit cautious about that. I don't really know if it's okay in terms of the 3D printer product wise. let's see. So I'm gonna adjust a couple of points here. So I'm gonna make them connect. But yeah, I think this area going to be definitely a bit problematic, so I need to think about this. I don't really know how this inside area would look like when I 3D print it. So this is really new to me. I have never 3D printed anything in my life, so yeah, it's a bit of a big learning curve to me. So I'm gonna make them attach here. So I'm going to later remesh them and then basically like make it as one single mesh. But yeah, if it's resin, will it to be okay or not? I'm not too sure. Oops, what did I do? So yeah, that's what I need to see. I'm gonna subdivide this. Kind of make it straight. Just the position of the points. Okay, I think this is looking alright-ish. I kind of want to see another reference for this knot area. So let's take some more images. Sometimes when like I try to search Japanese thing and then there are lots of Chinese, yeah, there we go. This is what I wanted. Perfect. Okay, yeah, this is really good. I should have searched in Japanese much earlier. This sometimes happen. Okay, so gonna add a bit of bump here. Add some bevel and all right. And then I'm probably going to add, so this is going to be a bit stylized version. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create new curve object, and then this one I'm going to attach somewhere around here. And let's create not again, I don't. So for example, this model from Warhammer, this got like really thin chain. Like, of course, I don't really know how they make this model, but this got really fine details. So let's say having something like this would be possible, but yeah, I don't know. I'm a bit skeptical about if this gonna work or not, but yeah, just trial and error. So I'm actually going to separate this curve from the main model. So I'm gonna separate, no, split. I always confuse, oh yeah, I always confused separate and split. No, I think I should use a separate, I guess, yeah. Okay, yeah. And then I'm going to create another curve. Make it uneven. Okay, so at this point I'm gonna start thinking about how it looks on this actual model. So I'm gonna start first. Let's clean up this project a bit because it's quite dirty. Okay, so I'm going to select all of these. I believe I selected all of these. New collection, drum, create. So now we got this drum, cool. And then I'm gonna use this as, well, let's create empty. Call this as drum, and then select all of these curves, select empty, and let's parent, keep transform. Okay, so now I'm going to select this original drum guide and then copy, paste, and also copy and paste. Yeah, so now it's kind of nicely positioned and it's intersecting. So now I'm going to start adjusting. So something like this. Maybe I need to shrink down a bit, or I scale up a bit, maybe. Definitely needs some adjustment. So let's move this a bit front, but it needs to be attached, so I don't want it to be intersecting, and I don't want to be intersecting here either. If I make it smaller. Yeah, I think I have to really make it a bit smaller. Yeah, this is fine, isn't it? There is a bit of intersection happening here. So I can just rotate this a bit. Rotate it ever so slightly. This is kind of working. So I am going to make it slightly thicker. These are guide, I don't need anymore, so I'm gonna delete it, and then let me hide some stuff. Yeah, this is still here. So this is I'm gonna move this curve, and then I'm going to move this back. Oh, shoot. Okay, now it's here, so I can control the thickness from this curve. How does it look? Yeah, I think this is better. So what I should do is this knot thing. I'm going to move it to front. Oh, what's going on? Okay. Rotate this. And then also I want to create the string goes kind of his tying on his waist. So I'm going to create that, but it doesn't have to be now. I think I'm gonna make it later. Yeah, so let's copy this, and then I'm going to create another string which coming from here, the knot. So I'm gonna delete this vertices, and I'm going to move this here. So I think this goes up front. Yeah, and then this is still very rough, just shape, and then I will add the detail later. Yeah, I think I'm gonna make this a stick, and then probably that's it. It's already 10:50, so it's kinda, I made some progress. I don't really know when people make their personal work, weekdays or weekends. If you're watching, please let me know in the comments. So what I'm thinking about this this stream, I kind of want to create the place I make my personal work, and then people who also make personal work gather and then have chat, and nothing really serious, but like making things and just chat. That's what I want to do. But yeah, obviously if people don't really watch, then I just make my personal work just by myself here, like I do normally. So it doesn't really matter. But if you have any request about when you wanna watch or what do you wanna see, let me know in the comments. So I'm just putting these bangs in the folder, so it will need to be a bit tidier. So hair is here, and the cylinder is also hair part. Cool. Cool. Okay. And I'm also going to put this curve as guide curve, so I don't need to accidentally touch. So this is actually part of hair. Okay, so I'm gonna hide, or I'm gonna just make it unable to touch and hide, and then I can switch on and off the hair. Okay, this is better. This is better. So I'm going to make this one. This one is relatively easy, so I'm gonna do it very quickly. So let's zero out. Also apply transform. Actually, I think I'm going to make a new cylinder. Oops, no. Let's do this again. Cylinder, then vertices 12. I'm gonna make it roughly the same size as this original cylinder. And then, yeah, I'm gonna delete it. Let's make sphere, and also the segment will be 12. Oops, I always do this. Sphere again, 12 and 12. Okay. Then I think the size is about this. And then, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna copy it. I'm just going to delete this area, and then I'm gonna just delete this face. Let's scale down and solo it. And also I'm going to select these faces. Hide it. Oops. I'm gonna delete this vertices. And then let's joint them together. Then let's flip this normal. I really like, so it used to be Blender had the outside normal as blue and then flipped normal as red, but now like outside, like a normal has just a general like gray color, and then like flipped normal has this orangey red color, which I think is much better. Like I prefer this. Like I was confused like which one was which, but now like, yeah, why do you need the main normal, like the collect normal to be colored? I think this is really good. It's much easier to get which one is which, personally. Let's quickly connect them together. Okay. And then I'm going to add modifier, mirror it, yeah, and not X, merge and clipping. So I'm going to select this just in case, yeah, it's not moving. Okay, so I think this is looking all right, and I'm gonna add another modifier, subdiv, and yeah, I think this is fine. This is kind of shape I wanted to create. Maybe I'm going to add a bit of edge loop here, but yeah, I think this is good enough. Cool. So I'm going to duplicate this, and then again I'm going to copy this position and rotation. Cool. So this is actually a bit too thin. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to wait. Let's scale up this area. Also this area a bit too. Yeah, I think this is nice. This is good. I actually quite like this kind of center area to be quite thick. Yeah, and then so this is going to be the base of this this knife, kind of, how do you say, like carved knife? I don't know how to call it. Where's my sketch? Where's my sketch? Yes, this one. So I'm gonna delete this. I'm gonna use this instead. Zero out. Also, let's apply transform. Oh, all right. Flip it, and then so I also am going to duplicate this. Zero out, and then lovely position at the center. And then I am going to scale. And then maybe for this one, I'm actually shrink the center part just a bit. Yeah, and then let's quickly make this knife thing. So I'm gonna shrink actually I think I'm going to delete this face. I think it's easier if I make it out of plane. I don't know. This is super crappy looking knife. Okay. And let's add solidify. And yeah, this is actually not too bad. Yeah, okay. It turned out as not as I was worrying. So I'm gonna add a bit more thickness to it, I guess. And apply origin to geometry, and then I'm going to apply 0 for Y, and then I'm going to apply subdiv, but the label will be just 1, so I still have the control, and then I'm gonna add a bit of thickness to here. Oops. Why? I don't know. I actually think this was not really good tactics. to add some edge groups here. Like this kind of simple thing sometimes like take longest time, which is very weird. But anyway, it doesn't really matter to be honest, because I kind of want to make it organic shape. These goblins are not really like, they are very rough people, so they make their weapon their own weapon, so it's not really kind of, how do you say, it's more like a orc's weapon, like it's really made out of like bones and metal, so it shouldn't be really kind of posh weapon. So I'm gonna I don't know what posh weapon is, but so I think I'm going to sculpt, add a bit of sculpt and create kind of organic touch to it later, so it doesn't really matter how it looks for now. Okay, yeah, I think I'm quite happy with this shape, and I kind of want to stop around here. Yeah, I think doing streaming on Friday, I'm not really sure if a lot of people want to watch it. So yeah, I honestly don't really need to like, I'm not really expecting people to watch, like many people to watch this stream. I don't really care if anyone watch or not, like I'm just happy to work by myself. It's really good for me to like concentrate without any distraction with streaming, so that's part of the reason I do. But also in the same time, like I said, I'm kind of want to like make this stream to like communicate with other people, like what you guys, how do you tackle with your passion project, and how often do you make, and how do you approach like how to be happy with your project, that kind of thing. Like I really am interested in, because I know a lot of people wants to create their personal work and then struggle about it, like how to make time or that kind of thing. Like in general, like keep making personal work is really, really tough. So it's kind of good to know, nice to know like how people approach, and also like have other company to who also making their personal work, and yeah, just have a chat like how we work in the studio. It's nice to have someone to talk with during what you're doing. So I don't really want to, if anyone watch this, I don't really want to like make it something like people just watch me making some stuff, you know. So yeah, it would be really nice if I can talk with more people, and nice to talk with other people who also make personal work, or even like people who are thinking of making their personal work but can't really have time, but always thinking of making their personal work, something like that. I don't know. Yeah, so let me know in the comments if you have any sort of idea what you want to see, or what you're working on and what you're into, what's your personal project, what is your snack during working on your personal project, that kind of thing. I love to know. And yeah, any feedback. I think the difficulty about streaming 3D work is in general quite time consuming, and I can't make it super enjoyable like people painting. Like, I think painting takes less time in general compared to 3D. So yeah, sometimes I end up like just sculpting hair for like 2-3 hours, and then that's not really fun to watch, maybe. I don't know. So yeah, let me know if you have any advice, comment. Again, I don't really know how often I will keep doing this stream, but yeah, I probably will do this again sometime, but I don't really want to like make proper schedule. I know I should do, but yeah, if I get some more audience, maybe I will do, but at the moment I don't really have a plan to do that. Especially I'm currently working at the studio, so like weekdays are quite tricky for me to do. If I'm working from home, then yeah, that's something I can do, but it's a bit challenging for me to do on the weekdays, to do regularly. But weekend, I don't really know how many people are working on their stuff, or how many people wants to channel YouTube. I think it's better to go outside and enjoy sunshine. So yeah, we'll see. Yeah, maybe I'm gonna stream again next week, keep working on these props and hair. But yeah, that's it for today. Thank you so much. If you joined the live, thank you so much. If you watch on YouTube, thank you so much, and see you sometime again. Bye.